Dope Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now heavyweights, right? Heavyweights. With our little triangle, we got Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua. Now, I haven't even watched this. I've seen some headlines, right? I know Anthony Joshua was on ESPN First Take, which I haven't watched yet. Get around to it. And then I also know that Anthony Joshua said, hey, listen, forget Tyson Fury right now. I want Deontay Wilder for my April 13th date in Wembley Stadium in London. Right? So I know that these are the things that he said. And, the reason why, I'm going to do this video without having watched, right? Without having watched ESPN First Take or even read articles. I'm going to do this from headlines because I haven't got anything wrong about Joshua in so long that I'm hoping probably to get something wrong here so I can put on that dusty wrong hat that I have, right? But when reading the headlines, right, from yesterday's headlines and all that, I just felt like Dana Carvey, on Saturday Night Live when he was doing the grandma, right? Church lady, that was her name, church lady. You all remember that? How convenient. How convenient. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I ain't gonna lie. Because, here's the deal. Last week was a fight. Week and a half, 2 weeks ago, there was a fight, right? Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury could have been there, right? Telling these guys before the fight, I take the winner. That's what it would have been, right? Now it's weeks later, and you have the Canelo fight. And he's not even that important, right? So that's how convenient. So that's what happened to me. So I'm like, okay, and I ain't watching CNN, CNN, but ESPN's First Take either. Because without watching it, I'm just going to ask you guys questions. He said he wants to fight Deontay Wilder on the April 13th date, right? Knowing that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury have some business to take care of. Knowing that. So, questions will be, did he mention Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz? For example, did he say, okay, well, if I can't get him, then I'm going to fight Ortiz? Because Ortiz is still considered to be the boogeyman. Like Deontay Wilder did, right? When he was considered the boogeyman. Everybody was telling Deontay Wilder to fight him, even though he wasn't in his sanctioning body. He was in WBA. Deontay Wilder's WBC. They told him, hey, you scared to fight him, right? So that's why Deontay Wilder went to fight him, because people were saying you should fight this guy if you're so bad. So he does it, calls you wolf tickets. Right? Same thing with Povetkin. Before a Povetkin fight, same thing was happening to Deontay Wilder. Why don't you fight him? You're going to be scared to fight him. So he does it. Povetkin gets doped, and they still act like he ain't fought the man. Right? But we ain't talking about that. So I was thinking, well, did he say, okay, if I can't get Wilder, because Wilder's tied up, he should probably be saying, well, I know he's tied up now. It's too late. I could have fought him earlier. He's tied up now. That they need to solve that between them. Some discrepancies there. Who won and who didn't win. They handle that business. In the meantime, I'll take the boogeyman to make sure ain't no questions around here. Did he say that? I haven't watched it. So you guys can tell me. Did that come up? Okay. You can tell me. I don't think so. That's why I'm saying it now. So I want to put on the wrong hat, guys. So did he maybe say, okay, right? So I want Deontay Wilder bad now. I want him bad. So it's going to be 50-50. Because he's going to come to London. That's my date. We made the Wembley Stadium bigger. It's my date. I ain't got no more time for this negotiating stuff no more. It's 50-50. So I'll make sure he gets there. He don't have no reason, no excuses. We ain't going to tell him not to fight Tyson Fury and then start negotiating with me again because he's finished with negotiating with me. Did he say that? 50-50 maybe. If not, I don't need to watch ESPN First Take. Because those are the things that'll probably make Deontay's antenna go up. Anything else is not. And it shouldn't. It wouldn't make mine. It wouldn't be. I've dealt with you. We could have fought a long time ago. It's April 13th date or whatever. You act like somebody has to come there. Right? But when you mention Jarrell Miller, for some reason with that name, you're thinking New York. Right? You're thinking New York. So another thing, guys, that's very significant before me even watching First Take or anything else Joshua was saying. The promoter has already said the pay-per-view numbers weren't good for the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight. He already said they were terrible. Well, abysmal. right? Remember all that? So that means that they're going to come in there and try to negotiate and telling Deontay Wilder, giving him ridiculous flat fees and all that stuff he ain't got no more time for. So now that people are considering these guys the best two, and it's enough people. It's not everybody. There's still some. There's Anthony Joshua's the main man, no doubt about that. But there's more people that would like to see that those two fight and consider them to be the two best. So now you have that dynamic, right? So nobody has to be sitting here listening to Anthony Joshua or definitely Eddie Hearn. But only good thing about this, Anthony Joshua's talking. He's out there saying something now. I just think it's a little bit too little, too late to be talking about April 13th. Right? You could be talking about the future, but you fill that bigger Wembley Stadium up with someone else. And the way you can do that is fighting Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. There's some other names out there. Eddie Hearn has said, maybe even Jarrell Miller, the Dillian White. That's the one it's going to be. Dillian White versus Chisora winner. Or basically Dillian White wins, not Chisora. A little bit Usyk. There's one other guy, but I'm going to do a video about that extra. Right? The thing is, though, guys, all of these things that are coming now from Joshua going, because he's in America talking a little bit, it's a little bit too late. And like I said at the beginning, how convenient doing sports talk worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.